Today, we are talking all things birth plans. What is it? Why could it be important and helpful during your birth experience? And what should be included? Whether this is your first baby or a subsequent pregnancy, or you're just curious as to what the birth plan term actually means and what's included in it, stick around because I will break down all those details in this video. In case we haven't met yet, I'm Kalina. I'm a full-time toddler mom and also 34 weeks pregnant with a baby girl on the way. And in my channel, we're keeping things really informative and really encouraging and talking about things like non-toxic products, postpartum, pregnancy, parenting, and just conscious living in general. So if any of that resonates, go ahead and like and subscribe for new videos just like this in my channel every week. What is a birth plan? A birth plan is basically just documentation of your vision for how you want your birth experience to be, what you do want and what you don't want. For mom, those preferences can include just the environment and how you want to feel during your birth. It can include labor positions, who you want in the room with you, and your induction, and just general kind of birth preferences for how you personally as the mom want to feel and experience birth. It can also include aspects for your baby, such as if you want skin to skin right away, if you want delayed cord clamping, if you want the baby bathed or not, and your vaccine and ointment preferences. Do you think it's important to also take a quick second to talk about what a birth plan is not? A birth plan is not an official or a legally binding document. It's also not a guarantee that everything on your preference sheet is going to go exactly as planned or that your care team will be able to honor those wishes at every single step. Lastly, the birth plan is not something to stress about, so whether you have one or not, that doesn't mean that you can't still make independent and informed decisions throughout your birth process. Why can it be a good idea to have a birth plan? In my opinion, all moms should be empowered and entitled to feel the way that they want to feel and have their preferences and wishes honored as much as possible, even if some things might shift and some things might not go exactly according to plan. It's your body and your baby, and it's your birth experience. So being able to just have a little bit of peace of mind that everything's documented and that you've thought through the different choices and pros and cons of things that you can ask for and things that you can refuse just might give you a little bit more peace of mind going into that journey. If you're interested to see my non-toxic baby registry guide, check out this link. So what should be included in your birth plan? I want to start with some administrative sort of information, your name, your partner's name, the names of anyone that you want in the room with you, such as a midwife or a doula, your due date. You'll also want to include the name of your practitioner as well as your birth location. Lastly, you'll want to include any existing health conditions that can be specific to pregnancy or not. So things like group B, if you have preeclampsia, if you have allergies, or if your blood type is not compatible with the baby, those are all things that would be really good to document so that your care team knows what to expect. Your environment can play such a huge role in how you feel during your birth experience. So things like aromatherapy, dimming the lights, having someone there to give you a massage, or just things that make you feel more calm and more comfortable is something that you might want to consider documenting in your birth plan. You can also include things like pain relief, whether or not you want an epidural, or maybe you want to go a natural route and use something like a TENS machine or massage, or if it's available, maybe you like to get in the bath or take a shower. You can also include whether or not you would like continuous monitoring for your baby or not. You can also include birth positions that you want to try, any props that you'd maybe like to use, like a birthing ball or a peanut ball or any other tools that might be available at the location that you're going to be giving birth. You can specify pushing and tearing if you want to be coached through pushing, or if you want to push naturally, if you want any tools like forceps to be used, or if you do or don't want an episiotomy. You can also choose what to do with your placenta if that's something that you want to be delivered naturally, and also make sure to note if you plan on taking that placenta home with you and having it encapsulated or making it into a tincture or another type of just keepsake. Even if you have a cesarean, there are still things that you can request, things like maybe lowering the lights so that your environment is a little bit more peaceful, having the drape lower so that you can see more of the action and more of the birth process yourself, or things like vaginal seating, and also controlling maybe what you listen to and playing some relaxing music while you're having your surgery. Let's talk about preferences for baby that you can include on your birth plan too. For your baby, you can request skin to skin immediately, honoring what they call the golden hour. That allows you to just have that immediate bond with your baby on your chest and attempting to nurse. You can specify delaying, measuring, and weighing during that golden hour. You can also specifically request that the baby be left with mom, or if the mom is unavailable, with a designated family member at all times, so that the baby just stays with someone trusted. For baby, you can also request things like not to bathe the baby and just leave that gorgeous vernix on so that you can smother it in later. And you can also request delayed cord clamping and be really specific on that too, whether you want it so that the cord is completely white and stops pulsing, and you can even request who you'd like to cut the cord. You'll also want to include medication and vaccine and ointment preferences for baby. So if that's something that you do want, make sure that you let them know that that's okay. And if that's something that you don't want, make sure that they honor those wishes as well. You can also specify how you would like the baby fed. So if you're just planning on breastfeeding, you can specify that. You can mention in your birth preferences that you do not want the baby given a bottle or even given a pacifier. You might also want to include something that's specific to honor a cultural or religious practice that is important to you, so that your care team can honor and support those wishes. The last thing that I recommend including on your birth preference sheet is maybe just a nod to some contingency plans. How your birth unfolds, I'm hoping, goes exactly as you want it to, but if it doesn't, it can just be helpful to think through some of those contingency plans, and maybe if you don't get your first choice, what your second choice might entail, just to help you feel a little bit more in control and supported, and feel that your voice is still being heard and honored, even if things, for medical reasons or other reasons, don't go exactly according to plan. I bought a really cute template off Etsy for less than $4 that I'm using and just editing in Canva for my birth plan this time around. But you don't have to spend any money to make this happen. You can throw it in a Word document or even handwrite it. You can make it just something with a couple sentences or bullet points, or you can make it something really visual and elaborate, just depending on what you're looking for. Since you already went through all that trouble of documenting everything, you might as well share that birth preference sheet with your doula or your midwife or even your provider ahead of time, or maybe it's your husband or your birth partner, just so that they have an extra copy and you have someone else in your corner to help advocate for exactly what you want during your birth. Was there something that I missed that you included on your birth plan? If so, please drop it in the comments below. I hope this video was helpful in going through exactly what a birth plan is, and maybe give you some ideas as to what you would like to include in your birth preference sheet as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.